It's day 17, about 6:30 in the morning. It is absolutely torrential outside the shelter where I'm staying. Thank goodness I set up in here and not out in my hammock. It's been pouring off and on in waves for hours, and it's definitely not done yet. So I'm going to hang out here for a while and read a book. Back on trail. It's about 8:30, something like that, 8:30. And it's a wet trail, but the sheets of rain have stopped. It was pretty epic last night. I'm super glad I didn't put up the hammock. I think it just would have been inevitable that it would be soaking wet with that much rain coming in with a lot of wind. Not what was really predicted. The one thing I have definitely figured out is that my rain pants gotta go. It's an old pair of Event that I've had kicking around for years. Used them more for wind protection than rain, and they ended up, soaking, which is probably inevitable with anything. But it took forever to dry. In fact, they still haven't dried, and that doesn't make sense. My regular hiking pants are dry, everything else is dry, and my rain pants are soaking wet, so they just get saturated. So I'll figure out a way to get some new ones. I did have two stories that I haven't told yet, actually from the 20-mile day into the NOC, animal-related stories. Yeah, these are not the dad jokes, those are yet to come. So the first one was, I think, maybe on the way up to Wayoa Bald, I think is where it was. Up in the trail ahead, probably, 30 yards or so, I did see a big cat. I don't know enough about what's out here to know what kind of cat, and if there's anyone who does know that wants to drop a comment in, I'd be very curious. But it was probably, 3 or 4 times the size of a house cat, and I'm going to say maybe 30 pounds or something, and was up ahead. Didn't take a lot of interest in me, but kind of trotted on. I just glimpsed it, and then I was able to focus in on it for maybe 5 seconds or so, and then it trotted off into the woods. That was the last I saw of it. And the other one, so I'm very curious what that was, and I haven't really asked around yet, but if anyone knows what might be out here, that'd be very cool to know. And then the other one, same day, after Wayoa Bald, coming along a ridgeline, I suddenly see this big black animal on the trail coming right at me. And, your brain kind of kicks into high gear. Went through the process of big black animal coming at me. It's a bear. Oh shit. Is it a bear? I don't know. And then really trying to focus in. It's black. It's the right size. It's got long black hair. It's all correct. The face doesn't look quite right, but is it a bear? Your brain just cycles, and finally realized it was a really, really big dog. And the owner came out very apologetic and looked at me and said, "Oh my God, we scared the heck out of you, didn't we?" Yeah, I've been walking along alone for hours, and suddenly this big black animal out of nowhere coming right at you. Anyway, it was a dog, so it's all good. Well, the rain kicked back up. Didn't expect that. Thought it was going to be 70 and sunny this afternoon, or at least not rainy. But it's that kind of day. I'm not putting on the rain gear. I'm just going to go and get wet. Hope that this doesn't last too long or get too severe or cold. Right now it's pretty warm. And I'm staying in a hotel tonight, so, I'll just dry stuff out. It's pretty. I could do without the rain, I'm not going to lie. But it's foggy, and you can see that. And the trail is easy to see. And I'm going to do a good bit of downhill. Done most of the uphill, not all of it, for the day. And the end of the day will be Fontana, which will be cool to see. All right, here we are, Fontana Dam. Now the funny thing is, I was looking at the dam through the trees for probably the last 45 minutes down an embankment. It took quite a while to get down, and had views of it, but not enough to really take pictures, so I didn't. And now that I'm down here to where the trail crosses, I don't see the dam, but I think it's over to my left, over this way, and hidden. I'm going to probably go down to the, in fact, I'm going to go down to the docks down here. There's a marina store and see what kind of resupply I'll be able to get there, just so I know. and I'll be getting shuttled up to the hotel, and I'll take more pictures either later today or tomorrow. There must be enormous swings in the water level. Here you can see a long, long dock going down, and you can see on the sides how high and low the water must get. So it's obviously, well, it's very low compared to the high point. I assume this is low in general. But a lot of kind of houseboat looking things out there. And yeah, I don't know where all they go from here. It must have an outlet that I'm not seeing yet. And they got their store down here. Looks like a cool marina. Just wrapping up day 17. I'm here at Fontana Village, which is right by the Fontana Dam. Still haven't really seen the dam, but I know I will see it when I get over there. Saw it from the hillside, as I said earlier, but haven't really seen it since I got to town. Nice little village area. There's a marina that you saw in the previous video. There's this nice hotel complex. I guess this is a big area. They call it the Dragon's Tail, big area for driving on the road that has tons of switchbacks in the course of a couple of miles. So if you're into driving, you might have heard of it. A bunch of hikers kind of staging up here, waiting for the weather window for the Smokies, which I expect to start on Saturday, given the current forecast. If it doesn't change, looks like a pretty good window. And I think there'll be a bunch of people heading out about the same time. Dick and Carol had asked if I could give more frequent updates on mileage. So I'm at mile 164. And if you do the math, you might scratch your head and go, gee, he's gonna get done with the trail by about Christmas, which wouldn't work. But there's several factors working in my favor. The first is my mileage now is going up as I'm getting, better strength in my legs and, more, aerobically fit. So the 12, 15, 17, 20 mile days feel, much more normal than they did at the beginning. So I think the mileage will go up. Second, I'm going to be able to dump a bunch of weight out of my pack once I can get rid of the cold weather gear. And it's going to be 30 days probably plus before I can do that, but I should be able to dump a few pounds, which will add a few miles every day. And third, maybe the biggest, is a lot of these 0 days have been around weather where it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense to be on the trail when it's cold and wet. Cold's okay, wet's okay, cold and wet, not okay. That's the way I look at it. So I think, the mileage will pick up soon and it's getting better already. So I'm feeling pretty good about how things are going in that regard. I thought today's closer, since I mentioned my friends at our studio, would be one that maybe the statisticians will get better than some of the others. But if you're into statistics and such, this might make sense to you. And that is that the average person is really mean.